Hi everyone, it's Jill Foster here for Penny Black, and I am excited to reveal our next Flower of the Month kit starter. Now, just as a reminder, each month we'll be releasing just two new stamp sets, a new flower set and a new flower holder. And I see these new monthly flowers as like a burst of beauty and something new and novel to keep us all motivated and excited about our hobby. This kit starter is also very flexible. You can mix and match these new flowers and holders with your stash, with each other as you build up your stash with them each month to month. And I will show you a simple formula that you can build a kit with me, again using your stash, or you can purchase the kit that I'm using. There's lots of ways to play along. Also, this kit starter program is commitment free, so just be sure to subscribe here on YouTube so you see the reveal each month, and you can decide then if you'd like to purchase the kit starter for that month. So let's see here today what is new this month. Our flower are the hydrangeas, and so here is the flower set and here is the flower holder, which is a beautiful watering can sprinkles. So we'll take a closer look at each of these. I love, again, we have two of the hydrangeas, beautiful sentiments, and this really great ledger background stamp, and I'm going to show you lots of ways to use that. The holder is going to come, it's a watering can, a nice little sentiment there, and this beautiful little tag that also has a cutout die that you can attach to the watering can or just to the flower. So you can see there, these do have the cutout dies available. Now I'm going to show you what's in my kit, what I'm building from my stash. This is the same formula from last month. I have for my frame or background die, Whirl. Embossing folder, I chose Texture. For my die cut sentiment, Friends frame. Die cut flowers, bundle of blooms, and a die cut holder that these flowers work well with is the Woodgrain circle. And that doesn't exactly hold the flowers like last year or last month I used a mason jar, but I think it works so beautifully with the curve of these flowers. So these are older, timeless items from my stash from Penny Black that we're pulling together again to use again with this new motivating flower of the month. So this is a look at those items. This is the Whirl die. This is that texture embossing folder, really versatile. This is the Friends frame, and it comes with that scalloped oval. And what I really love about that is it works perfectly under the watering can as like a base to hold that. And the word Friends fits across the watering can if you want to use it that way. And you can see kind of there how that is just a great fit with that watering can in particular. And then these are the burst of blooms, and this is a die cut from my stash that I can then add into the watering can. And then here is that wood grain circle, and I just love how this looks with the hydrangeas on top of it. It just follows that curve so perfectly, and so it's just another sort of place or holder to put those flowers to ground those on your card. So again, another look at the kit starter, the new flower of the month. And we will go ahead and I'll show you what's in my essentials. So these were in last month's and I'm bringing them forward into this month. My background basic stencil set, my posted cutout, stamp and die, and the soaring. Love to use those butterflies inside of there. So now that we've seen everything, built our kit, here are some ideas for coloring your kit starter stamps. So we're going to start with a very basic but beautiful watercoloring. And I'm doing watercoloring for all of mine using Distress Ink Reinkers used as watercolors. I've stamped onto Canson 140-pound watercolor paper. I will have all of the colors and inks and paper and everything listed for you down in the YouTube description box, as well as links to all of the Penny Black kit items. And this first one I've stamped in Archival ink in the color of watering can, so it is like a dark charcoal gray, and I am just using simple coloring to paint this in. You can see I used one color of green, that peeled paint color. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Seedless Preserves. Now do not feel like you need to painstakingly color or every single individual petal on this bloom. Think of it more as a whole. That's what I did. And I'm just painting in just a light wash of that color right over the top of the whole thing, seeing it as kind of like a ball of color there. And with watercolor, I love, you can go a little bit out of the lines and it just adds to sort of that watercolor artistic effect. Also, once you use the cutout die, any imperfections really get lost in that. I'm going to dry that, and then a little tip, you could definitely leave it just like this, but if you want to add a little bit of detail, make it look like you painted a lot, dry it, and then I'm picking up that same color, but just more concentrated so there's less water on it. And then I'm just going to pick a few of the sort of petals or flowers there, here and there, to paint in that darker version of the color. And that instantly makes it look like you have done a lot more shading than you really are doing. So it's very basic, just a light version and a darker version right on top, picking a few to color in a little bit darker. Now, you certainly don't have to paint this in with watercolors. You can use whatever medium that you like. The illustration is so beautiful and charming that it will look beautiful no matter how you like to color, if that's markers or colored pencils. And you could emboss. I think it would look really pretty, like embossed in gold, and just going very simple with that. And so I am just going ahead, picking a few here and there and painting those in a little bit darker color. And you can really see that flower start to come to life. Then I'm just grabbing a dark brown, this is Gathered Twigs, and just getting the center of those flowers. The center of those individual petals. And that really finishes things off nicely. Now I will paint the watering can. So I'm going to go turquoise on this. And I love with the watering can, you can do any color that you want. I'm going to go turquoise. This is Evergreen Bough Distress Ink Reinker. And you can see I'm just painting that on. Not worrying about shading, just getting some color on there. And the illustration really brings it to life. Now, I hope you'll stay tuned throughout the video. I'm going to show you lots of card samples at the end and some mixing and matching of this kit with last month's tulip kit. So just some different things you can do with these. So let's do a little bit more watercoloring. Now we're going to do some sort of faux no-line watercoloring where you don't see that dark outline around the flower. The only thing that's changed here is I went ahead and I stamped this in Memento Toffee Crunch ink. I am still doing that on Canson 140-pound watercolor paper, and I am using the Distress Ink Reinkers to paint that in. I will link to a more detailed watercolor video for you of mine down below too if you want to check that out a little bit slower and a lot more explanation on that as well. So I used some weathered wood distress ink on that watering can, and here I'm just going to do a little bit more shading than I did on the first one, but really they are all equally beautiful. So I put down the peeled paint distress ink reinker at sort of the base of that leaf where it was closest to the stem, and then that was when it was most concentrated. I rinsed off my brush, patted it dry off camera, and then I went back and blended that. On top of that, I've then added some forest moss distress ink reinker, and that's how I got that darker color towards the bottom of the leaf. Now I wanted to do a white hydrangea on this, so what I'm doing this, and these are my favorite ones, were the white ones actually, is I'm using the Gathered Twigs Distress Ink Reinker, painting it on, and I'm just kind of painting behind the flowers or the petals that are a part of this. And you can see it's really quick to do this, and all of a sudden, because white things, when we see them out in nature, they have shadows and everything on them, and that's what makes them look the shape that they have. So just by adding this brown shading in here, this starts to have shape and look finished. Then I picked just a few of the more prominent petals here and put a little bit of that Gathered Twigs Distress Ink Reinker towards the center, rinsed off my brush, patted it dry, and then went back to blend those with just a little bit of water. And then finally, once that was dry, I used my heat tool to dry it. I'm adding that brown ink to the center, and now this is complete, and it is so easy to do that. And the white flower I think is really striking, kind of gives a vintage look if you like that. So again, lots of different options, really love those too. So for this next coloring example, I wanted to show just a little bit more color mixing, and I'm going to show that on the watering can. So I'm going to grab that Weathered Wood Distress Ink Reinker, put it down most concentrated from my brush where I want it to be the darkest, rinse off my brush off camera, pat it dry, and then go back and blend. So that's what I'm doing here. I patted it off and I'm just going back to blend that. So you can see it's just a little bit darker towards the outside. I'm going to pick up just a little bit more to darken up those edges. But you can see that it is wet as I'm adding that in. Now I'm adding just a little touch of Faded Jeans Reinker on top and letting those colors mix and blend together. I want this watering can to look kind of old, and I'm even grabbing now some Rusty Hinge Distress Ink Reinker, the littlest bit, dropping that in a couple of spots. You don't want to do too much because it will blend and look a little orange. But if you add that in, especially with that little bit of Faded Jeans, you can put a little bit more of your weathered wood on top. And then if it gets to be too much, pat off your brush so it's pretty dry, and then you can lift up some of that color too. So you can see here I'm just re-wetting that, darkening up that side. I will pick up a little bit of that Rusty Hinge and just add a little bit of it here and there. And I'll get the handle here. And you can see as that dries, you get that sort of a rusty country look to it. I just love that. Adding a little more weathered wood there. Went out of the line, so I'm just re-wetting that and then lifting up that color with what you would call a thirsty brush. And then dropping in a tiniest hint of that Rusty Hinge Distress Ink Reinker. So once all those were colored, you can see the final ones. I've used the cutout die for those, and you can start playing, mixing and matching, adding them in. They all are beautiful. Like we said, the last watering can, that was probably the most detailed, but that's the first one there, that teal one, and I love it just as much. So it's really fun. And then I wanted to show you here the card gallery. So pulling it all together from the kit to the coloring, cutting them all out, and then making the cards. So here you can see I've used that Whirl frame. The sentiment is from this, the extra leaves, everything on here is stamped from that new set. Here I've used that Friends frame and sort of added that, almost looks like a doily down below, and that background, that ledger, I love that for just a really subtle background. The little touch of that tag that comes with the watering can stamp. Just grab another one here. Here I've put it on that posted stamp and cutout die that's always on my desk, so I grab it with the Flower of the Month kit starter, of course. This is all one layer, so I did not use the cutout dies. I did some stenciling with our background basics and then stamped that ledger, just real light in the background. Really finishes things off beautifully. Here I've done another one layer card and added that texture embossing folder just off to the side. I guess it's not totally one layer, it's a panel and then the embossing folder off to the right hand side. Here's that wood grain circle. I love how that layers up on there. The texture embossing folder up at the top. Use that little tag and just trimmed it up a little bit and put it with just the flower. Here is where I use the stamped holder and added the die cut flowers inside. Also use the Whirl frame again and the little tag. So just lots and lots of ways you could just keep going and going. Now I also wanted to show you each month we can mix and match these new holders and flowers and even the kit items if you wanted. So I'm dumping out the tulips that I colored and the boots from last month. I'll put a link to last month's video for you down below too. If you missed it, make sure you check it out. So these are the ones I colored last month. And then here are this month's, and look how fun it is. Now you can start playing around, mixing and matching the different holders with the different month stamps, making a bouquet of more than one type of flower inside of the holder. So it's just the possibilities are really endless. And I love that about this kit starter. It's something that you can keep returning to again and again and again and get so much out of it. So there I'm just playing around with, look how the tulip can look in there. That is just pure spring with that watering can, and then add one of those little tulip buds in there. Imagine that with the ledger background behind it. You just wouldn't need much else. That's one of my favorite arrangements right there with this mix and match section. So I'm just having fun here, seeing what I can grab. And this is another way you might want to approach making some of these. An assembly line style where you stamp a bunch out and just paint them and have fun. Put them in envelopes and then sit down and just start playing and mixing and matching to create these bouquets for your cards. Or save some from month to month. So if you did the tulips last month, maybe you want to stamp a few extras to bring ahead into this month. And if you're doing the hydrangeas this month, maybe stamp and color a few extras that you want to use with next month's holder. Or some extra of these watering cans. I feel like I'm going to want to reach for that over and over and over again. But look at this. Isn't this fun? I mean, I just didn't want to stop. I was having so much fun. You can see the different color combinations. They all work well together. I really like the purple and the yellow that is off on that right-hand side. Slide those off and just keep playing. Finally here, I thought you could even put a couple of different holders and make like a little spring vignette. So you could put the boots and the watering can. You could put flowers like to the side or in there, however you would want to do that. But you could also sort of mix and match in this way too, adding just a couple of buds there from the tulips in bloom from last month. Add one down here. Just lots and lots of fun. I hope you enjoy this part of the video too. Sometimes it's just fun to get lots of different ideas. It may spark something for you. Please let us know, what are you most excited with the kits? Are you playing along? Are you building a kit from your stash? We love to hear your comments and appreciate all of your kind words and encouragement. So here are still shots of all of this month's cards. I have everything listed for you down in the YouTube description box. I will link to our blog post, which will also explain everything for you about the Kit Starter program, and have lists and links of supplies used for each individual card as well. Thank you again so much for being here, and happy stamping.